Hello everyone, and welcome to Isha Reviews. I'm Isha, and today I'll be doing a review of Season 5 of Stranger Things. I know, I am falling behind, but yeah, the last episode released on New Year's Eve. I finished watching, the very last episode, 2 days ago. Yeah, and I'm aware I'm falling behind, but I did catch up well. So yeah, and I'll be giving you a review of the final season, and I'll let you know if the season is worth watching or not. So I hope you like this video. So let's talk about the good. I'd say cinematography and VFX. The cinematography and VFX is absolutely brilliant in the entire show, and yes, it just makes me excited every time I see something that's really beautiful to look at. It just makes me happy because I'm finding appreciation in something. And also to say the cinematography is very interesting in this season to me. Because when Holly and Max are together, when they have a lot of scenes together. Oh yeah, Holly, by the way, is Nancy and Mike's younger sister. All of them are siblings. So yeah. And Holly is also a main character in this season, so I'm just letting you know. And yeah, so there are a lot of scenes with Holly and Max in this season, and something about the way the visuals are and the cinematography and everything together, it gives a Disney vibe. And I don't know. Maybe it's because of Holly's dress. She is kind of young, around 10 years old or something. She kind of looks very young and things, younger than me. Yeah. And yeah, it does give the princess vibe in a way, so I think that's why it felt very Disney-like to me, some live action Disney film. So yeah, it kind of felt like that. And the series, in the 5th season, it also felt futuristic in some parts when they're in another world called the Abyss. I think it's because of the lighting and just the sky. It just looks very futuristic, but it looks really cool, I have to say. I also really love the red and blue lights when it's shining, when red lights are shining in the night. It's really pretty to look at, in my opinion. Yeah, and I'd say the cinematography shines, especially in episode 4 here. It's really great to look at. So yeah, I loved the cinematography and VFX and through the entire series. So yeah. So the second thing I liked about the season were the creative ideas. I'd say this show does have a lot of very interesting ideas, ever since season 1 with Joyce communicating to Will through lights, and it's the lights were just shining whenever it was he was speaking. It was really cool to me. And in this season there are also so many creative ideas which were just so exciting to me. Yeah, one of them was Will was predicting Vecna's next move. This is all of season 5. I thought that was really cool. I find predicting the future or predicting what's gonna happen next, those kinds of ideas, to be really cool. So I really liked this idea, and yeah, that was really cool to me. Another idea I really liked was Max and Holly getting into Vecna's mind. This happens in season 5, episode 6, and I thought that was really cool, how they're getting into his mind, even though that can be very invasive. Something about it is kind of interesting, knowing how another person's mind works and what they're thinking, what they feel, what's their motive. That's really cool. And Will also gets to control Vecna in this season. I thought that was really cool to me. He can control him in a different universe, in a different location. He ends up controlling Vecna when Vecna kind of hurting Max. He knows that Vecna's hurting her, and and he like controls him, and I thought that was really cool. That he could do that in like in a completely different location. The fourth idea I liked was Will communicating with Vecna. It happens in the last episode, where Vecna's like understanding his past or something like that, and Will is kind of, it's like he's talking to him, and it's like this back and forth conversation with Will and Vecna. They're trying to like understand each other, and I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I liked that connection. And the last one I liked was Mike connecting reality with D&D. That this also happens in like the last episode. I found that to be really interesting, how he's connecting your a game to real life. Even though there was one small problem I had with it, I'll get to that later. But yeah, I thought it was really cool how he was connecting reality with like D&D with reality. I really like connections and connecting things with other stuff. So yeah, there are a lot of creative ideas in this season. So I think you'd all really like that. So the third thing I liked about this season were the song choices. I'd say this entire series does have like very smart song choices, and like the lyrics really do match the situations that the characters are like going through. It's like 80s, and also like the lyrics are fitting with the situation, and I really like how much thought the makers put into that. So some of the examples here are I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. This song appears in episode 3. And Holly is shown in that scene like just trying dresses on, and she's like alone in Vecna's house. And yeah, and the song goes, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around now. And that perfectly fits the situation, so I like how there's a lot of thought put into that. Another example was Running Up That Hill, where Max and Holly are like running in that scene. Happens in episode 6. They're like in the Upside Down, and they're trying to get back into the real world, and they are running up, and not up the hill, but they're still like running, and it goes, running up that hill and get them to swap our places. It's really well suited to the situation. So yeah, I really love the song choices, and I love how much thought the makers put into that. Yeah. So the fourth thing I liked about the season was Eleven's introduction. I thought it was really cool. Even though I have like mixed feelings on the way it was shot. So yeah, she uses her superpowers and energy, and also like does a somersault, which is like really cool. I love like the flow of the actions and movements in her introduction. So I found that to be really cool. I love when there's like a flow to things. So yeah, I have like mixed feelings on the way it was shot, because so I appreciate that we get to see her hands and the legs like moving. I appreciate that it's not like just the upper body, it's also like the entire like body, like from a distance. But I also wish it wasn't like there are like multiple edits. It would have been much cooler if it was like a longer sequence and with the way it was shot. But I thought it was really cool to see, so I really liked Eleven's introduction. So the fifth thing I liked about this season is the fleshed out villain. Yeah, I really love how we get to see so much of the villain, who's Vecna, in this season. And I love that he's like a main character in here, because he is important in this season. So I like that we get to see who he is and why he's this way. We get to see his childhood and understand who he is. I really like that, and why he is not okay. He also has a fear, which is the cave, where Max and Holly go to for like a safe spot, and yeah, he's scared of the cave because of like past trauma. So yeah, and the reason why he like takes children is also explained. Yeah, like Vecna is the villain here, and he does take children and like kind of kidnaps them, and they like kills them and things. But yeah, but he takes the children because like they're weak in their body and mind. So yeah, I really like how we get to see so much of the villain, who he is and why he is this way. I think it's really important to flesh out a villain like character and things. So I really appreciated how it was fleshed out in this season. So the sixth thing I liked about this season was the sense of hope. I think it's important for any tragedy or dystopian genre to have the sense of hope in there, even though it can be like filled with so much sadness and depression and things. I think it's also important to have moments of hope and moments of joy, so that it's not like overloaded with sadness, I'd say. So yeah, it can make us feel hopeful, and that is something I really appreciate. That was really put out so much in this season. Yeah, so Elle and Will have superpowers in this season, and yeah, I did feel like that could like give us hope that hey, like they can fight Vecna, they can try to control him, they can try. They're they have something special going on in them, and they have some special powers. They can use it against him. And the group also does as much as they can to fight Vecna, and they get like guns and fire, and they and I honestly I don't know what the rest of Hawkins are doing. Like there's like in this gang they're like around 10 or 12 people, and they're like doing as much as they can to erase the enemy of the city. And honestly, I don't know what, I'm really curious to know what the rest of Hawkins are doing. But yeah, I like that the group is doing as much as they can to like erase him, and it is very understandable why there are multiple main characters in the final season, because one person can't destroy an extremely powerful villain like Vecna. Yeah, like Elle can't be the only one. So, and I also understood why Will kind of had superpowers, even though I felt like it could have been a little more developed. I can kind of understand that in this season because, um, like it can be very hard to, just like I said, very hard to erase Vecna. So, like, they need to do like as much as they can to like control him. So yeah, I really love the sense of hope in this season. It's done really well. So the seventh thing I liked about this season were the performances. Performances have always been good through the entire series, but they're always standouts. So yeah, everyone is good. They do their best. They do a sincere job. That's what I have to say. And I do understand the reason for like multiple main characters. They're like around 10 to 12. I know that's way too many for main characters in a season, but it is quite understandable because the main goal of this season is to fight Vecna, and you do need multiple people for that, and things like that. So yeah, it was very understandable why there were multiple main characters in this season. But yeah, even if everyone did a sincere job, I would say there were standouts in my opinion. I'd say Erica, played by Priya Ferguson, she's absolutely hilarious and sassy, and she's just very entertaining in this season. I love that she brought some moments of laughter and joy in like even while there were like really sad things going on, and there's a lot of fear. Like she is like trying to like bring some joy into it, so I really liked that. Elle, physically and emotionally, played by Millie Bobby Brown. I really liked her in the last episode. I love how she wants to fight Vecna, and yeah, and she's like determined to like erase him, and she's determined to fight. Like it really matches the age. It is very understandable why she would be that way, and when she's like in her late teens, teenage years, because like yeah, I can understand why she is that way. And I love the father and daughter relationship with her and Hopper. I've always loved it. It's so believable. I could not believe that they were not related. They make the relationship so believable. Like with what I'm saying is like they both are very supportive of each other, and they have moments of fun, moments of emotion, and we see how much they care for each other. And we do see Hopper saying that he's proud of Elle, and he's always there for her, making sure she's safe. And it's such a believable like father and daughter relationship, and I love how nice that is. But the standout of this season is Vecna, played by Jamie Campbell Bower. He's absolutely brilliant in this season. I love that we get to see more of this character and the development. He's got a deep tone and does have loads of makeup on while playing Vecna, but still really good in this season. It can be hard to like express with all that makeup on, but he's really good in this season with his like tone and like just his reactions and stuff. He's definitely a standout of the season. So yeah, I know I was kind of sad about Billy like being gone because he was his acting was also brilliant. But yeah, I love that we got a villain here because he is amazing. Because Jamie Campbell Bower is amazing in this season. So yeah, those were my standout performers of this season. So yeah. So the last thing I liked about this season was the ending. Episode 8. This is the very last episode of this season. It's my favorite episode, probably of the entire series, because it's so good. Like, okay, so why I loved it. Mike, Will, Dustin, Lucas, and Max graduate in this episode. So there's like barely any like school in this season. There, like we just see small glimpses here and there, but it does make sense why they're graduating this season in this episode, because they have been friends their entire life, and since we're closing it up, graduation does seem like the right option to go with for an ending, for any like teen series, I'd say. So yeah, I mean, it does, I can understand why they chose graduation for the last episode. Another thing that happens in this episode is that Hopper proposes to Joyce. I have been rooting for them to be together ever since season 1. They have so many scenes together. They have known each other for a really long time. Hopper and Joyce are very supportive of each other. They make a great team. And I was so happy when Hopper proposed to Joyce, because I've been wanting them to be together. So yeah, I was like really happy when that happened. So let's talk about the bad. Movie or an episode. So what I mean by this is that some episodes are too long in, let's say, the entire series. The last episode of season 4, that was like 2 hours and 22 minutes, and in the very last episode, season 5 episode 8, that's like around 2 hours and 8 minutes long. While I do love these 2 episodes for certain reasons, like it's like such a movie length. Like, make a part 1 and part 2. Like, there's too much information you're trying to stuff in our heads. It's just too much, in my opinion. Like, it almost confuses me if they're trying to make a movie or an episode like with this kind of length. I know it does start off like abruptly and with a cliffhanger, but it still feels so movie length. Like, don't be afraid to make a part 1 and part 2. It's just too long when you're making it like 2 hours or even more than that. Another thing I did not like in this season was the lazy development of interest. So in the last episode, Steve, Robin, Nancy, and Jonathan are like talking to each other, and Jonathan brings up like making short films in the future and going to NYU to like pursue his interest in that. And Mike also he's playing D&D with his friends, with Max, Lucas, Dustin, Will, and they're like playing D&D, and while he like connects it reality, like D&D with reality, I thought that was really cool. But I remember I said I had a problem. The problem here is that he plans on being a writer in the future. While these 2 interests, there's nothing wrong with it, there's just zero development of how they got interested in it, or like them even being creative. Like, yeah, we barely see any like glimpses of them doing this stuff, and it's just kind of shoved in our face. And honestly, saying The Big Bang Theory, if you know that show, that was way better in terms of character development and creating unique personalities. There are like around 7 characters in that show, and each character have their like strengths and weaknesses and their own personalities and careers and like professions. Like, it was honestly so much better in terms of that. But in this series, I would say that's like the thing I did not like, is that there's barely any development of the characters' interests. Like, each character should be shown having some unique interests, or just some interest or something. Even though I know it's a horror genre, it would have been more interesting to see each character have their own interest and or like hobby or things. I feel like that also adds to the character. So yeah, there's barely any development of these interests. Jonathan is shown to be quite interested in photography, and he's shown to be doing that in season 1. It somehow disappears in the rest of the seasons. I don't know why. But yeah, the development of these interests is just so poorly developed here. So yeah, that's something I did not like. So overall, amazing season. My favorite out of all the seasons is definitely season 5. Even though the episodes do get longer as seasons go by, it does get better in my opinion. I love that there were more characters that were added into the show. It does make it more interesting, and I just can't believe this show is over. It's just shocking to me. But yeah. Thank you to the Duffer Brothers for making this brilliant series. I know I watched this series like just recently, but It was great watching something unique. I'm really happy I got to watch this. Uh, I had a great time. Can't believe it. It's an end of an era. But I'm happy I got to watch this show. And I highly recommend watching season 5. It is really good. Just like I said, my favorite season. So, yeah. Thank you for watching this video. Please tell me what you liked or did not like about it. I would love to hear your opinions. Also, feel free to tell me your opinions on season 5, Stranger Things, if you watched it. I would love to hear your opinions, just like I said. Once again, thank you for watching this, and bye.